All right, hello everyone. Welcome to Heroes Welcome's Friday Night Magic. I am your commentator for today, Philip Beyer. With us in the feature match for round one, we have Daniel Johnson playing Mardu Burn and Richard Stine playing Goblin Pult. Um, Daniel's a good friend of mine and know about his deck. He's been trying out some cool things with Mardu. He's got um, normal packages of Goblin Guides and Eidolons and stuff like that. But Richard Stine's deck, I have no clue what it is. So I think this is going to be a good matchup of red versus red and see who is the best. A couple other plugs. This is Heroes Welcome's second stream that they have been putting on for FNM, and we're trying out some new things. First of all, a commentator, me, trying out the aerial overlay with the videos so we can get seeing the players' hands and what they're doing and all that jazz. Um, yeah, so and we're planning to move forward from there and get going. Um, Looks like Danny rolled an eight. Both rolled an eight. We might be here for a little while. 10 to 9. So Danny will be going first, which is where Burn wants to be, which is where I assume both of these decks want to be. In a very aggressive meta that we are in right now. Daniel's looking to keep really any one-drop creature, and I assume that um, Richard is going to be wanting to keep any of his strong enabler goblins that really get him going. Daniel's taking a mulligan to 6, which isn't really best thing for burn, but that's okay too. That's okay too. A couple other things that we're trying. We're going to have card viewers on the side of the screens underneath each player's name so that you guys watching can get to see the cards if you're not seeing it right away. Um, and yeah, so make it easier for the viewers at home to understand the cards, see them, and follow along with everything. All right. Looks like both players resolve some mulligans. See if we get some good keeps. Looks like Daniel's got an Eidolon. Don't really know what Richard has in his hand right now. You can see a colorless land. Alright, so Daniel's going to start the game off shocking to 18. Hopefully a one-drop creature. Suspend is good too. Suspend on a Rift Bolt. Alright, off to Richard Stine's turn. Mountain. Don't know what one-drops he could be playing. That is, I do not know what that card is. I believe it is a quest card that is used in Zendikar, potentially. Um, Definitely a card I have not seen ever. Yes, this is Quest for the Goblin Lord. I'm going to pull that card up there for us so we can see it for you guys at home. Alright, so Quest for the Goblin Lord. Wherever a goblin enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a quest counter on Quest for the Goblin Lord as long as Quest for the Goblin Lord has 5 or more counters on it. Creatures you control have +2/+0. There's a little bit of an anthem effect for our friend on the Goblins today. Daniel now is led off with second play being Eidolon of the Great Revel. Fantastic start. Gonna potentially damage Richard for quite a bit. That looks like Goblin Catapult, I believe. That's a card from M14 that throws goblins at players and gives them some damage. Which now I can kind of get a vibe for what's happening here. Looks like Daniel's reading the card too. I'm going to try and pull this up for us so that everyone can get a good visual for the card. And then now we have Foundry Street Denizen, first creature for Richard, which is a pretty strong creature. It gets very big, but Eidolon and Monastery Swifts are able to attack into it, and so that's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be pretty good for Daniel. Still pulling up this card. A lot of old cards here, that's for sure. What is it, M15? Either way. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that card allows Richard to sacrifice goblins to deal. Alright, barrage of expendables. Pull that up for us here. Barrage of the Expendables says sacrifice a creature. Barrage of Expendables deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So when your goblins start getting a little useless, you can turn it into damage. But looks like Daniel is doing what he really wants to be doing here, which is getting the strong creatures that apply a lot of fast damage, along with accompanying them with some burn spells. Richard looks like he's going to need a little bit of a a more time to set up what he needs to be doing. So potentially, if we go to another when we go to another game, maybe he'll be able to set that up quicker. But good stuff here from Daniel, putting his down opponent to 5, pretty much um, giving himself the best chance to just draw some burn spells and finish out this game. Now, I think Richard is thinking, oh, how do I get out of this situation? Playing spells is bad. Can't 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 win the game without playing spells. So we need to get something going. So yeah, so he's gonna scoop it up, and that sounds about right for what this kind of matchup would be doing. Um, Really, whoever goes first in these burn um, red deck mirrors, it really's got an advantage. So we're gonna see what Richard can do. Um, Daniel's potentially got some cards to bring in, maybe some core Firewalkers to fight other red decks. Richard might, if he doesn't have a plethora of lightning bolts, maybe he can get some more removal spells to fight those creatures. Not too much red life gain. You can play Sun Droplet. You can play Dragon Claw. Um, there's some things. So yeah, we'll see what Richard has brought for this and see what Daniel has brought for this as well. No, but Daniel is kind of given a new twist to burn. We all know that either, or much of us should know, that it's generally been in red, white, or Naya varieties. Using a Tarkus command, Boros Charm, Destructive Revelry, that kind of stuff. Don't think we got to see any of Daniel's spicy cards, but um, near the end of the match, we can talk about what he's included into his deck to make it a little bit different. All right, looks like the players will be shuffling up for game number 2. Should be a good one for sure. Yeah, no, but this has been an awesome opportunity. Thanks to Heroes Welcome and John at the shop here in Menomonie, Wisconsin. Heroes Welcome, of course, an excellent place for all your Magic the Gathering, comic book, game needs, and a wonderful place for us Magic players to get to do so much during the week. Friday Night Magic, of course, a great time for all of us. Play some new decks, meet people, have some fun. So this has been awesome, and being able to showcase it definitely been um, an awesome idea. And I think it's working really well, at least from my end. I don't know how it is going from everyone else's end, but yeah, it's a fun time to be able to do this, and I know Heroes Welcome is very excited about getting to do this. All right, we got another card. Looks like this is a Chancellor. This is start the game. You reveal this card, um, and you get a Goblin token, which is that's that's pretty sick. That is, you want to get some advantage? Why not have a free Goblin? I'm gonna try and pull up this card so people can see it. Chancellor of the Forge. Pretty good card. Other cards like this are the other Chancellors, which each there's a cycle for each main color made in New Phyrexia. Chancellor of the Forge. Just and then it has a pretty good enter the battlefield effect. We got some more goblins here. Looks like Daniel led off on Bump in the Night, one of the premier reasons to play black. Got a second Bump in the Night, but looks like we're a little light on land, so we're going to need to look for them red sources. Got another Bombardment. Get some damage in, you know, attack with the goblins, sack the goblins if you need to be. Gets rid of Eidolon so it doesn't have to take damage. See what else we can get here. Hortling Outburst. Alright, this game looks to be a clinic here for our Goblins player. Don't think Daniel brought in his a third bump in the night. That is almost half of Richard's life total, but I believe these goblins should be able to wrap it up, barring any. Oh, Krinko Mob Boss. What a strong card. For those of us not aware of the Commander and M13 staple card, Krinko Mob Boss says that for every number of goblins you control, counting him, you put another one. So Richard has 7 goblins on the field, counting Krinko. One activation will create 7 more goblins, incrementing so much, creating so much advantage. Daniel looks pretty much priced into lightning bolting this, but as it stands, Richard will have lethal on board with the bombardment, being able to sacrifice 4 of the creatures that attack. Yeah, so Lava Spike, Lightning Bolt, not really gonna do too much. Looks like Daniel's just playing to the out of the Richard not seeing the line, but this looks like exactly what Richard wants to be doing. Throwing the goblins at him. Got a quest. The quest will be activated right away once he activates his Krinko. Puts 4 goblin tokens, and each goblin attacks for 3 now. Oh my goodness, this is enough damage. This is awesome. This is super great, super great. For those of us being able to do Dominaria pre-release, I know we will be here at Heroes Welcome. There's been a lot of new inclusions of new goblins here in the format that we'll have in Standard, some reprinted, like Siege Gang Commander, and some new ones. So maybe that's what Richard has been looking forward to, just some new goblins to tech into his deck. That looks like a bit of just a tough game for Daniel. Light on the mana, has had to mulligan a couple of times, but looks like exactly what Richard wanted to be doing. So yeah, it's been a good match. No, traditionally, you know, red versus red is kind of difficult to gauge how interactive it'll be, but it's really good to see some new stuff in the format. Daniel still hasn't shown off his crazy stuff besides his bump in the nights, but Richard definitely got to show us what goblins can do. And goblins, you know, it's got a lot of cool stuff. Between the lords, pump 'em, and things that make goblins, a lot of goblin creation between the tokens. Right, head back over to the feature max. Looks like they're just going right into it. Daniel's got a pretty good hand. Looked like at least 2 lands, 2 fetch lands. Richard's got a Chancellor though, so he'll get a free goblin to start the game. Daniel looks like he'll have all the mana he needs. Well, he'll have all the colors he needs. He'll be able to fetch his white. Looks like if he didn't already have Lightning Helix, he's brought Lightning Helix in. A good way to create a good race situation. Daniel leading off on a mountain can preserve some life total. A really good start here would be Monastery or a Goblin Guide. Goblin of his own. Goblin fighting a Goblin. Alright, Monastery coming in here. This will be 1 damage. Seems low right now, but it grows. It grows for sure. Alright, see what Richard will start off here with his 1 goblin. Looks like he's got found a Foundry Street. No, that's a Frenzied Goblin. Tap to deal 1 damage to each opponent. That creates a clock too. That's, yeah. If it ever becomes a board stall where there's a bunch of creatures on the field and you can't attack, the Frenzied Goblin will create a good way to get around that. I'm gonna double check that I got that right. Yeah, nope, not Frenzied Goblin. Not Frenzied Goblin. 1 second. Goblin 1 sec. I will double check what goblin that is. No, it's a very famous goblin. Don't want it. Oh, Goblin Fire Slinger from it was from M12. I know it's been reprinted other places too, but yep, deal one. It's deal 1 damage to each opponent. All right, so Daniel will be swinging in for 2 after hitting him down, hitting Richard down with a lava spike. Got lightning bolt. Looks like 4 blocks to put in 4 more damage in total, putting him down to 10. 18 to 10, good place for Daniel. I believe he's got at least 1 skull crack, and if he's able to hit in, it's good stuff. Looks like that's a dragon fodder in his hand to create two goblin tokens. Little gruesome, but the fodder for the dragons is the goblins. But I'm sure the goblins are are just quite loyal to Richard here, and going to give the best they can against Monastery Swiftspear and the burn cards. We got Black Leaf Cliffs, we got black mana, but it looks like we're still missing white. I don't know why Daniel didn't look for his Sacred Foundry. Looks like we're gonna get some triple block action. This will prevent against 1 pump spell, which is good on Richard. He'll be able to keep 1 goblin and only lose 2 of his and kill Daniel's creature. Richard isn't at a point yet where he can start attacking comfortably, so it's just a matter of time before he'll be able to turn the corner. That's an important part of these red matchups, knowing when you're able to turn the corner and be able to fight back. So Daniel will play Skullcrack, put his opponent to 17, be able to pump his Swift Sphere. So I'm getting rid of 2 tokens, but so he gets to pick the token he wants. He's got 3 different tokens. Looks like he doesn't like those. That's the Scars of Mirrodin one, and get hit for 1. Alright, so he's got a Frenzied in his hand, but I wonder if he's missing on land. It looks like he is. So that's a Battlecry card. I'll pull that up for us, but that Battlecry from Scars of Mirrodin allows Goblin Ward Driver. Pull that up for us right here. Another potentially new card for a lot of us. Goblin War Driver says Battlecry. Get your goblins bigger. Alright, so Daniel has found white. That'll be really important. Turn on some cards in his hand that he wasn't able to cast before. Looks like he's got an Idol. Oh, I want to tap that mana just a little bit. Oh no, he's going to start off with this. He's going to hit his opponent. His opponent down to 4, and then play the Eidolon, and then looks like look for top decking a burn spell. So Richard cannot play 2 more spells this game. That would kill him unless it's a lightning bolt targeting the Eidolon first. So Richard's at a little bit of a lock right now, but Daniel's got to find something. Though almost all the deck is burn spells and damage, so it's just up to Daniel's deck to pull it together really. Looks like Richard's deck hasn't cooperated with him this game, but the Goblin War Driver will be able to push some damage in. This is 5 damage right here. Oh, this is 4 damage right here. Being able to have a chump blocker for the Eidolon. So yeah, this is a good clock, but it does look like it might not be enough to fight Eidolon, but some bricks by Daniel could potentially put him into it. But yeah, Richard is unable to play anything because he's missing land, but also because of Eidolon. Daniel does final land, so looks like he'll definitely attack. It gets in some damage. At the very least, also even kills a creature. But it looks like Richard will definitely, I would like to believe, block to preserve some of his life total. So he's going to pass. I don't know about that one. I think attacking was safe. But also, it looks like, yeah, I mean, having a blocker back too is pretty darn important. Might do a little bit right there. All right, attack in for another 4, put his opponent down to 6. Um, yeah, it looks like we gotta really find some burn spells here. Ooh, is that a Rift Bolt? All right, that's a Rift Bolt. All right, so tough decision here. It's it's a matter of if he attacks with the Eidolon, he's got to block because then the Rift Bolt would be lethal. But if he doesn't block, then he has to Rift Bolt a creature, and then he would potentially still. Yeah, he's got to block, and then he'll assign a damage to Daniel, put him down to 5, and so he'll be safe for now. But yeah, now Daniel might be priced out of playing anything because he'll get put down to 1, and it'll be a stalemate that will look like it'll go into Richard's favor. It's how it's turning up here. Interesting how sometimes you're burnt. Ooh, Goblin Grenade. That does it. Yep, and Daniel's got a sorcery in his hand. All right, that does it. Richard Stine winning 2 against Mardu Burn. Looks like not finding a sorcery there was really important. Um, so yeah, looks like Goblins pulling it out. Definitely an interesting one. Stuck on lands, but yeah, Eidolon of the Great Revel, biting it back in the butt for Daniel there. But still awesome match. 2 fast decks, one of which we haven't seen before. Daniel hasn't been to show off his awesome tech, with the black cards, but awesome match. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back with round 2. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to round two of Friday Night Magic here at Heroes Welcome. My name's Philip, of course. We're going to be streaming round two here with Kyle Falkner on Red Green Eldrazi and Tyler Van Cleef on Naya Landfall. Um, so, looks like both their decks are going to be looking to find the early drops between Knight of the Reliquary or Noble Hierarch for both of them, or Birds of Paradise, and then ramp into their specific threats. Knight of the Reliquary for Tyler, and the famous Eldrazi um, for Kyle. Um, Kyle's deck has been benefited by Bloodbraid Elf being added to the format, another card advantage card, haste creature, strong thing. Tyler's deck just looking to be aggressive. Um, an aggressive deck with landfall, with a lot of landfall creatures. Some of which I can pull up um, when they show up. But yeah, so we got Narm and Renegade. Renegade says when revolt, when a card leaves the battlefield that was under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So it's a 1 mana 2/3. Looks like Kyle's doing what he wants to do. He's got Noble Hierarch on the field to accelerate his mana. Renegade swings in there, and no 2-drop for Tyler. It looks like he's got that Knight of the Reliquary, which is exactly what he wants to be doing. Um, Kyle's got all the cards he needs. Looks like he has an Obligator, another haste creature for the Eldrazi. Um, yeah, strong cards here for the both of them. Looks like Kyle's Ancient Stirring to get potentially a temple or even just a creature for his deck. Um, a creature for the battlefield, strong creature. Maybe. All right, so he's got a Carplusion Forest for him. Um, off that Ancient Stirrings. Looks like he's going to play that for turn. Really good land for the deck. Provides colorless along with the two colored sources of mana. I'm staring at a Lightning Bolt. Potential to kill the Narm Renegade. Get some pressure off of him. He's got Ancient Stirrings. Looks like he's looking for the land or the creatures. Two Temples. He's got Temple. That'll ramp him into a turn 3 Reality Smasher. If so be it. All right, so it looks like Tyler is just looking to deploy this Knight of the Reliquary that he's got. Um, I'll pull Knight of the Reliquary up for us. It's got a lot of text. Does a lot of things. Uh, Knight of the Reliquary, really strong card. Been reprinted a couple of times actually, so it's been a big inclusion for Modern, Legacy, and Standard even in its time. Uh, believe the card should be coming up soon. All right, perfect. Knight of the Reliquary. It's got +1/+1 for each land in your graveyard. Oh, he didn't even play it. He played Tormogoyf. Tormogoyf right there. A card that can be played in both decks, but it looks like just is being played here in Tyler's deck. Path to Exile, a important answer to Reality Smasher, as it applies so much pressure. And it's even better too because he gets to put a land in the graveyard for the Knight of the Reliquary. He's gonna get to attack for. Looks like it is a 4/5, a 3/4. Um, so yeah, it's looking pretty good here for Tyler. He's deployed his threats. He's got the Knight of the Reliquary now. You look at Knight of the Reliquary, +1/+1 for each land in your graveyard. It's a 5/5, 3 fetch lands and or 2 fetch lands and a Temple Guard in the graveyard. And you can activate it to sacrifice a forest or a plains to put some more lands in the graveyard. Make it bigger and tutor up your new land or better land. Looks like the dice are off the screen. We'll get that situated for the next round. Um, just for you guys. But otherwise, yeah, this looks like a bit of a racing situation here for Kyle. He's gotta figure out how he wants to navigate this. Lightning Bolt is not going to be quite good enough to deal single-handedly with his threats that Tyler has. Um, so it's gonna be tough for him right here. Um, yeah, but it should be okay. All right, so Obligator looks like he's going to be taking Neither Reliquary for a spin. So that's going to be 8 damage. The first damage to him. Interesting. I don't know what happened there. I don't understand what happened there. I don't know how Lightning Bolt killed. I don't know how Lightning Bolt killed in the Night of the Reliquary. But yeah. Now the Reliquary is gone then. Um, that's probably gonna name Eldrazi here for Cavern of Souls. Um, yeah, it looks like still got a race. Got Lightning Bolts. Got Bloodbraid Elf. Got some powerful cards here. Attacking in for 4. All right, so Scavenging Ooze. Looks like he named Ooze, so could he have more green mana to be able to eat some creatures in the graveyard? Um, which a smart play. Oh, dice got moved back onto the screen, so it looks like we're 10-5 here. Um, trying to figure out. It looks like he drew a land this turn, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, yeah, it looks like a tough decision. Figuring out if he needs to attack or block, but he's going for the attacks, which I think is a smart play. He's got 1 creature in the graveyard, 2 instants, and there's 2 sorceries. So he can make the Goyf a 2/3 by getting rid of creatures or instants or sorceries with his 3 green mana. Can make the combat a little sticky here for Tyler. Alright, so he's going to eat the Knight of the Reliquary. Going up to 6. Paying himself, so he stays at 5. He is taking He's taking sorcery out of the graveyard, so Goyf will be a 2/3 now. And so now he'll get to block, and that is very strong, very important. Might have drawn. Ooh, did he drop? He had a path. He had a path. That is pretty gosh darn important. All right, then Path Exile resolves. Tormaglyph is the only card on the field now. Looks like he's going to fetch, thin out his deck a little bit. Looks like it's just a matter of who's going to draw the best top deck. Tyler's deck is traditionally an aggressive deck. Wants to start out fast and power out strongest threats. But Kyle's deck can grind with the Eldrazi and the strength of them on back of Bloodbraid Elf and Ancient Stirrings. Oh, Narm. Oh, that's the other card in his hand. That's a really important. That's really important. Being to have Death Touch and fight combat really well. And only a Reality Smasher. That's going to get Death Touched. So, um, it it's still a very strong card. Hear me out there. Um, the Reality Smasher is not nothing to scoff at. All right, we start with Bloodbraid Elf. We're gonna spin the wheel here and see what we get. Birds of Paradise, low end, but blockers are blockers, so I'd say that is not too shabby. Um, all right, swinging for six. Six, pretty good. Pretty good chunk. He's already used two lightning bolts, so Tyler can't be too worried about getting burned out. But it is pretty important to note that six damage is more than half his life total. Looks like he's gonna trade off the Narman with something. I would trade off the Bloodbraid. Maybe that's just because power and toughness, or even potentially keeping it. I could, yeah. So trading off, taking three, 5 to 7. A very close game for sure. What would be really good here is a the 3 mana Eldrazi Matter Reshaper. That would have been very good there, but see if Tyler drew any spell this turn. Pretty important to draw a spell here. Deciding whether or not to attack a block. This is a tough decision. Yeah, chump block is a smart decision, I think. And I think attacking is the right thing. But looks like Kyle will have lethal here with the Reality Smasher. Yep, and we'll pack it up to game two. Pack it up to game two. All right, I'm going to be right back for 1 second. Be right back. All right, as it was clarified to me by Kyle, what happens is Knight of the Reliquary. It's got +1/+1 for the power and toughness of lands in your graveyard. Kyle controlled it. Kyle had no lands in his graveyard. Knight's only a 2/2. So that's how Lightning Ball killed it. That gives Kyle the one win up on Tyler. Really good place to start, of course. In an aggressive mirror like this, kind of like we saw in round one. Um, but so they'll be putting together all their sideboards. Tyler's got some things. He's looking at bringing in Core Firewalker, which is where you want to be. Um, Stony Silence 2. There's not enough artifacts to make that important. Haven't taken a look at Kyle's sideboard, but I would want to maybe potentially have more removal, like Ancient Explosives. It's a pretty good one. If he starts off with a lot of spells, or a lot of 1-drop creatures. Um, so yeah, I mean it can be pretty close for sure. All right, so Tyler is going to be on the play for the next game here, which is where he wants to be. Starting off with either a um, Step Links, which is another card I can bring up. Step Links is kind of where the idea for this deck started. A standard All Star back when Landfall was um, big when Zendikar came out. Step Links, has whenever a land enters, get +2/+2. So if you got a fetch land, that's +4/+4. 1 mana 4/5s. We see 2 mana 4/5s in Tormagloy. 1 mana 4/5s are pretty good, and when you're attacking, that's where you want to be. Um, and the addition of Narm Renegade, gave the deck some more 1-drops, and yeah, increased the power level entirely. It looks like He actually took out some step links, which totally makes sense. Lightning bolts can be still strong against it. But yeah, we'll be getting going into game two. Yeah, but definitely for these matches, I've been these players are pretty well known here in town. Between going to big tournaments like that we've had in Minneapolis or even Milwaukee, representing our hometown area, and they're quite good at what they do. Um, so if we're looking at Tyler's hand, this is what Tyler wants to be doing. Tyler looks like he has a triple one drop start with step links. Um, well, he's got triple one drops in the sense that he can have a step links and then turn two have a wild Nikado and a lightning bolt, which is that's powerful. If Kyle starts off with just a mana dork, that can be a runaway game. That can be a runaway game. Kyle's mulliganing here, which is totally manageable in this deck. Ooh, put one of them back. But yeah, totally manageable in this deck. As long as you start off with some ramp. Doesn't look like there's really that much ramp. Looks like he has a lightning bolt, which will stem the bleeding, as they say. All right, starting off with turn one step links. And the namesake cards in Tyler's deck. Looks like he's going to shock. Make sure that there is no ancient strengths. I respect that. Looking for what he needs. There are two choices here, three choices. Looks like he's got the obligator. Um, Take the temple. Temple is a good pick. Usually that's what the ancient strength is here for, to find the temple, because temple is probably the strongest card in the deck. Definitely. Being able to have two mana with one land is where any deck would want to be. Looks like Tyler's got all the lands he needs. He's going to have 4 damage here between the enter activation and then the fetch activation. Find a Temple Garden, got all his colors of mana now online. Down to 15. Still in the lead. Ooh, he's got his 2-drop. Core Firewalker. That is by far where he wants to be here. That's a good start. That was a good keep if that's what he kept. So it looks like he's gonna need to deploy either a Reshaper here or just Lightning Bolt. Looks like Mind Stone. Looks like his goal is to power out a Reality Smasher, but this is gonna be probably way too much. The Step Links will be another 4 damage. Core Firewalker, protection from red, gaining 1 life every time a red spell is cast. Gonna be 2 damage, 6 damage, putting Kyle down to 8. That's a clock. And if Tyler is doing what I think he's doing and deploying a Knight of the Reliquary, this game will be over pretty shortly. Which is nope, he's gonna do Renegade Rallier to bring a fetch land back. The fetch land is another 4 damage. Steplinks is an 8-power creature. He's going down 10 damage on turn 3. Tyler Van Cleef comboing off practically. He's going to have it untapped so that he can play the Wild Nikado in his hand. And don't think Kyle's deck plays Anger of the Gods. There is a potential for that. But even still, he'd have the core Firewalker on the field. But yeah, this looks like everything that Tyler wanted to be doing this game. 8 damage from the Steplinks and 2 damage. Leaving it untapped for the Lightning Bolt. That makes sense too. Cut off any outs to Reality Smasher, the best blocker in the game. He's got it. Any fetch land makes this lethal. Looks like Tyler can just show him the path to exile and win the game. Yeah, alright. So we'll be going to a game 3 here. He definitely had everything he needed that game. Kyle had to stumble a little bit. Didn't have the 1-drop. Mana Dork is what he wants to be doing. Had a 1-drop in the Ancient Stirrings, but not the one that he wanted to do. So, evens it up. Tyler evens it up. Awesome stuff here. So I think the sideboard inclusion there didn't have much of an impact. It let him curve out. Sometimes the deck can have too many one drops or maybe even too many three drops. So this was a good way for Tyler to curve out, which is what you want to be doing. Um, and yeah, Kyle only curving out with a Mind Stone, not really having creature ramp is really the important part because you can turn that into mana now and turn it into a block later or damage later in the case of Noble Hierarch. So yeah, um, yeah. So it's interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. It's aggro versus aggro for sure, but there's some interesting lines between when the each player can kind of turn the corner and start attacking more, or when blocking needs to be done, or when it turns into a controlling game. Um, looks like they're looking at the cameras right now. All right. Yep. So we'll go into game three, which is we're getting the most magic possible here at Heroes Welcome F&M. 3 rounds, 3 matches each round, and hopefully a good game between both of them here, Tyler and Kyle. Hopefully keeping sevens each and having a good match. It already has been a great match. Tyler's deck is definitely something he's been proud of. Well, not necessarily creating, but um, innovating and making something of his own. And then the red green Eldrazi deck being something of the new spin on how Eldrazi could take over the format in a way. I know we've had Bant Eldrazi, colorless Eldrazi, blue red Eldrazi, but this green red is just a way to do it a little bit faster and maybe more resilient now that we got Bloodbraid Elf. Got a 2-2 here with Wild Nacatl. Looks like Kyle's hands got some Scavenging Ooze, Ancient Stirrings, Bloodbraid Elf. Let's start with Ancient Stirrings. Um, Reality Smasher is a possibility. 2 lands. Yep, so it's a land to reality. Yep. Take a Reality Smasher. Pretty important. That'll take a Path to Exile check next turn, and that Birds of Paradise will make a turn 3 Reality Smasher. So it's up to Tyler to see what he can pull here. He's got a land heavy hand. Looks like 3 more lands left. They're all fetch lands. So he'll be turning his Wild Nacatl into a 3/3, which is where it wants to be. Looking at the right land, wondering probably if he wants to get a mountain. Has a land, but he also wants to wonder if he wants to fetch to thin out his deck. A lot of tough choices here. Decks with have a lot of lands, potentially fetch lands, utility lands. Making your land drop can be important. Doesn't look like he has the core Firewalker, so he's not going to need the double white as of now. I'm just playing it tapped. Um, no play. He was considering the Lightning Bolt, and I think that would have been a good play to Lightning Bolt. Because with no temple here, he's priced into only playing the Bloodbraid Elf. I mean, it's not bad to play the Bloodbraid. Oh, it looks like he had the temple anyway, so it would have been good either way. All right, so there's a Path to Exile check. There is no Path to Exile. That'll hit him down to 12 with the Exalted Trigger for 6. Reality Smasher is a force to be reckoned with. Looks like we got a Narman Renegade. Haven't had any impactful permanents leave. Really good value if a creature dies and you can bring a creature back. Gotta make it a collected company in a way, but no, that Narman Renegade looks like it's not doing cleanup yet. Reality Smasher is what we need to answer, and it's gonna take a lot to answer. It would take 2 Lightning Bolts, 1 Path, Renegade, a lot of things to happen. So I guess he's gonna get some basics, preserve some life total, go to 11. Um, there's a potential that Tyler is looking to play that, get the fetch land back, and then bolt something, which I can respect. Value, ramp, I think it's good. This is where maybe playing that Arid Mesa early, if he had one. Doesn't look like he did, but having a red fetch would be much better here. He wouldn't have to shock himself just to damage him. Now, looks like Kyle's got only 2 spells left. Scavenging Ooze, of course, a good spell, and Bloodbraid Elf, of course, is a good spell. But if Tyler can make his way past these, maybe he can get himself really back into this. Gonna start off with the Bloodbraid. Nope, he's gonna start out. Yeah, Bloodbraid. Looks like he did that for Elf. Ooh, Lightning Bolt is that breaks up a lot of his plans. Looks like Tyler was planning on uh, blocking plus lightning bolting. That's gonna be tougher now. He's gonna have to get rid of all of his resources in the form of his creatures to get rid of the Reality Smasher, which is not where he wants to be. Cause see here, he would have been able to block and sack. All right, so we'll be taking 6 in this exchange in total. 3 from the fetch land plus, and then 3 from the Bloodbraid Elf, putting him down to 5, which is looks like Tyler still has to fetch. Looks like Tyler still has to fetch. Maybe we can. Oh, he did not fetch. Okay, all right. A little bit of a mishap there, um, but a small thing. Um, we'll let the players know after that. Um, but overall, looks like a bad position for Tyler. Probably not much he can do um, between all the creatures. The Scavenging Ooze is going to gain so much life. 17 to 5 is a lot to overcome, especially for a deck that doesn't play Collected Company or Bloodbraid of its own. Tyler's looking at a Knight, and the Knight can block the Ooze for the time being. In a forest, but should have been fetched in general, so we're going to have to get that cleared up. But yeah, looks like he's got another Renegade. Renegade into the 3/3. Got a land drop this turn. Got the Arid Mesa finally. He's got blockers, but it looks like they're on chumping duty, so we engineered explosives. So the thing is that Tyler's got a 1, and he doesn't, and Kyle doesn't want to get rid of his 1s, and he doesn't have a 3, so he can play it. He can play it for. He actually cannot play it for 3. He does not have a green-red land. Oh no, he can play. He can play with the Noble Hierarch, but so that is a consideration. I believe that will create a forced chump block. This works the same way, I believe. But then he would be getting rid of his creatures. Engineer explosives should be blowing up his creatures as well. Another mishap. Oh yeah, yeah. Those should be gone. Another thing we'll have to check up on. But it looks like this might be sealing the deal. In fact, I might be just right back. Doesn't look like anybody's able to tell them what's going on. Depends if Tyler is. Yeah, we need to go change the board state, so I will be right back. All right, we backed it up to the point where the spells were the spell resolved as is. Um, uh, Engineer explosives destroyed all one drop permanents. Um, Kyle did not activate the permanents to put the counters on it preemptively, so they were destroyed, and so he didn't have the mana to uh, activate the knight or activate the scavenging ooze, so the traded with an Armin, and it's it's an interesting one, but it looks like this little bit of a mishap is um, kind of putting a damper on the game. Um, Narman is a first strike creature, or the Hexpede is a first strike creature um, that has first strike and has similar ability to um, plated Geopede here. Here it is. Sorry about this. Just pulling this up. Pull this up for you guys. Another potentially new card for the viewers here. Um, Plated Geopede says whenever a land enters gets +2/+2, just like Step Links, but it has first strike, so it can be on blocking duty. Looks like the Goyfs are 5 power creatures because of the artifacts in the graveyard. The standard instant sorcery creature land is there, but the artifact makes it a 5. Looks like Kyle is just still digging for Lightning Bolt. Almost all his creatures are on blocking duty. Um, Tyler looks confident enough attack with both. This presents lethal. So now he needs to have Lightning Bolt hit. Wow, and that will do it. Yeah, looks like that step back definitely cost the game. Yeah, sorry about that. We're gonna do better at spotting out those mistakes and being able to mention them for the players. But yeah, all right. Well, that was round two. Tyler gets it 2-1 with Naya Landfall versus Red Green Eldrazi. And yeah, so looks like we'll be back for round three. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Heroes Welcomes Friday Night Magic here in Menomonie, Wisconsin. Thank you. All right, hello everyone. Welcome back for round three of action here at Heroes Welcome's Friday Night Magic. We have our third round here with Brandon and Clayton Windsor. Um, they are actually brothers, which I thought was pretty awesome. Both very competitive, know each other, of course, very well, but play Magic all the time and great competitors. So I thought this would be a great match for us. Both 2-0 right now. Um, which is where they want to be in a tournament like F&M. Brandon is on um, rug cards I own, so he's playing with Bloodbraid Elf, Jace the Mind Sculptor, and everything in between. You know, the Ancestral Visions and what have you. Well, Clayton is on Bring to Light Scapeshift. He is using green, black, red, and blue. So we'll be using the blue for counter spells like Cryptic Command or Remand. Bring to Light, green for Scapeshift, um, and black for removal spells, and the green for ramp, and the red for also removal spells. So looks like Clayton will be starting off here. Clayton got a pretty good hand from the looks of it. Got the ramp plus um, what he needs. Probably start off with Serum Visions here from Brandon. Draw a card, scry two, see a Tormagoyf and another Jace. He's already got a Jace in hand, so it looks like Tormagoyf is going to be the pickup that he needs. Um, and that'll apply some pressure. All right, so we're looking at Sagira Tribuilder. That'll ramp him up. Sacrifice to get a basic out of your deck. Gets that Tormagoyf. Looks like he has an Ancestral in his hand. Looks like he doesn't have a time to deploy it. So it might be a little bit dead here. Field of Ruin in hand. Good to interact with Scapeshift when it happens. Looks like Branding is deciding between the Ancestral and the Tormagoyf. I'm thinking the Tormagoyf will be what he needs to apply the pressure. Force Clayton to potentially sacrifice the um, Segura Tribuilder. Alright, so we're going to deploy the Tarmogoyf. And there you go. So Tarmogoyf looks like it will now be a 3-4. Clayton's probably going to get an island or a swamp, depending if Fatal Push is in his hand. Looks like island. Probably going to set up a Cryptic Command. Yeah, pretty strong start here from both players. Clayton really wants to be ramping, and Brandon both probably talking about how they know what's um, happening. All right. All right, Huntsmaster Fells. That's an important card for the main board to have some interaction. Um, Main phase looks like Overgrown Tomb, um, or no, that looks like Watery Grave. Looks like we're gonna have Cryptic Command mana open. Or no, that's Polluted Delta. Hard to tell these expeditions sometimes. Start off an attack for 3. Good clock. Looking at the Field of Ruin. That'll be able to filter and find a red if he's missing it. He's also looking at another Tormagoyf. I think that's not bad. Cryptic Command in hand. Clayton looking at probably fetching to counter bounce. I would be willing to wager. Counter draw also doesn't seem all that bad, but this looks like it can be just as good. Yep, I'm gonna be fetching. Probably gonna look for black mana potentially. Hasn't found the black mana yet, but it does. If he doesn't need it, he's not gonna have to get it. All right, here's Sunken Hollow. Excellent dual land. Doesn't have to take mana. Looks like he's already declared that he'll be doing countering and some other mode, which is a definite beating. You know, being able to ramp while going on the play, getting the 4 drops out first, definitely very important. Oh, and he isn't going to counter. I dig it. Probably saving it for another turn where he can tap the team. Play that tapped and pass the turn. Alright, let's see what Brandon can muster together here. Can't quite tell what he's got when he's what he's just draw. Maybe a search for a Skanta, but he's going to start off with combat. Combat's good. That's 6 damage. Put him down to 10. Using life as a resource here, which is important. There's a third Tormagoyf in Brandon's hand. And he's looking at that like, can I afford to do this? And I think he can. I think now there's going to be a counter. Whether or not it's counter tap or counter draw. Oh, he's not gonna... Yeah, but now he can just tap the team. So it looks like he was looking for a land that turn and didn't find it. He can of course get 2 lands with the 2 Farseeks, but that's not very efficient. It looks like Clayton's hand's a little clunky. He might even potentially play the Huntsmaster of the Fells here to clutter up the board and gain some life. But that opens it up to a plethora of removal spells or anything. Yeah, he's going to pass the turn, so it looks like he's going to be tapping the team, potentially. Jace has been unlocked. Oh, that's Opt. The card in his hand is Opt. So it looks like Brandon is doing his best to get as many one-drop spells. It looks like this is going to be a tap draw. That's fine. No counterspell from Brandon. There's Damnation, but he's missing a black mana. So a Jace right here would be excellent. Just very excellent. But it looks like he's going to do Ancestral. What is he going to do here? This king is going to rethink this. He's going to play Scavenging Ooze. Alright. This is opening up the Damnation quite a bit. It's strong against a lot of things. Alright, Ancestral, going to be a little late, but it'll be alright. Lightning Bolt's going to take care of the Scavenging Ooze from the looks of it, because if he doesn't draw black, he really needs to utilize all of his mana. You know, he's got the Damnation, but he can't bank on drawing a land here. It would be pretty heartbreaking if he draws a land for both players. Search for a Skanta. Definitely going to be good, but not good right now. So it looks like Clayton's either going to be looking to play Farseek, double Farseek. It's going to be double Farseek or Huntsmaster. Sorry, Huntsmaster. I'm going to stem the bleeding a little bit. This is an okay play. I like this. He had to do this to be able to survive. So yeah, passing the turn. Brandon looks like he's going to fetch, probably get a Steam Vent. Second blue for Jace, and red in general, because Lightning Bolt could close us out. Alright, well this is showing the strength of Tormagoyf here. Yep. Look at it, yeah, get the red. Get in the red. He's got Jace to be able to bounce either the token or what's it called? And then that gets 4 more damage through at the very least with a chump block? That's what you want to be doing. That's what you want to be doing. He'll have a uncontested Jace, even if he gets the Damnation. Yeah, Clayton's hand has not lined up like he's wanted to. He's wanted to get more. Alright, so looks what we draw here. So Ancestral down to 3. Jace, looks like it's going to be Jace Bounce. That's my personal thought, because he's going to be forced to chump block, so the Jace will stay alive. It's a tough decision. Yep, this has been an awesome turnout. We had 24 people here for Modern Friday Night Magic. Looks like we are swinging first, seeing if there's going to be a double chump on the side of Clayton. But we always really have a good turnout. John in Heroes Welcome has had a record of around 30, 30, 30 something. Um, and that was an awesome turn. It looks like a double chump. Took 4 down to 8. It's gonna be Jace Fate Seal or Jace. Because in a way, Field of Ruin would be a good activation too. They're gonna be. I don't know what he bought him, but he bought him to green card, and I actually wonder if that was the right choice. Because if he finds a land here. Oh, is that the swamp? Oh, that's the swamp. That's exactly what Clayton needed. Wow. That is a crazy. No, that's an island. Oh, dang, that is tough. That's tough. Those are the promotional lands, I believe, from something. They're very nice. I actually believe that was a form of a gift from his brother as well too, which is awesome. But Clayton's at a tough spot. Can't play Damnation, which is what he wants to do. He doesn't have a Bring Delight to get it because it's in his hand, unfortunately. So it's not drawn up like he's wanted. Wasn't able to play the Search for Skanta early. A lot of stuff just not panning out. And even at the end of the day, worst case scenario, he's not got Scapeshift. He's not got enough lands yet. He could double Farseek, but too much power on the board. Brandon's decision to, well, incidentally draw up 3 Tormagoyfs, but also play them in succession and really apply the pressure has truly paid off. He's got 5 mana. So unless I'm missing something here, I think he has. Oh, he does have a Bring Delight. I do not know if he has a second Damnation though. He might be casting. Um, so look, there's like he's got a couple Snapcasters. He's got a Cryptic to bounce, but that's still lethal. He's just double checking his deck. But I don't know if there's anything. Yep, and he scoops it up. Yeah, Tormagoyfs get there. All right. Brandon taking game 1 with a lot of power on the board. Um, yeah, so Brandon and Clayton, of course, very close, being brothers. They play test together, play Magic together, and even sometimes create decks together. Share cards, I believe. So yeah, they're pretty knowledgeable of what each other is doing. Clayton, I know, has been passionate about the deck he's playing. Um, he loves big mana strategies with Scapeshift and whatnot. And Brandon has always been about the grindy mid range of green cards. He owns Jund as well, I believe. He's played that a lot. Um, so yeah, this is right up his alley. Both of these players are doing what they love and playing the cards that express that. So this is a good batch of Magic. Yeah, but I don't know what the players could sideboard. Maybe we can get maybe an idea. Um, Ooh, looks like Brandon was playing mainboard Blood Moon. That is really important. There's at least 3 of those in that deck. Blood Moon is more than where you want to be. Electrolyze is not, so that's a good place to start. We've seen two Blood Moons. There's a Roast. He doesn't want Roast, I don't think. Noble Hierarch is Ramp. He might have more Blood Moons in the sideboard, but Blood Moon is where you want to be. If you can play that, Clayton is priced into. Ooh, what is this? just for the Snapcaster mages. I don't know about that quite. Um, so I didn't get a quite look at what Clayton brought in, but it's probably some more removal, potentially some lower curve stuff, maybe more ways to streamline the deck and combo out faster. But pretty much what Clayton wanted to be doing was ramping more of that game. The Tormaglyphs um, kind of halted the ability for Clayton to stop and play some Farseeks, to potentially find an extra black source, just more lands in general to get Scapeshift going. Because I believe uh, it would have been very close if he would have been able to get two more Farseeks out because he had the Bring Delight. Brandon, on the other hand, did exactly what he wanted. Ancestral was a little late, Jace was a little late, but those are cards that, if the game does go long, can really take over. So we'll see what can happen here in game two between these two. Yeah, but what's been awesome about this opportunity is getting to showcase some players who really have a lot of talent here. Everyone's really passionate about the decks that they play and what they do here and for the community and just for themselves. And it's awesome to even just showcase that for everybody. Um, Clayton's got a good start. He's got two ramp spells at the very least. He's got land. Brandon's got a mulligan again. Mulliganing didn't hurt him last time though. Looks like Clayton's gonna keep. So that's a turn one search. He'll get to ramp up to 4 by turn 3, and he'll be playing another one. He'll be going off. He'll be going off. This is just a matter of how the cards will line up. Brandon, on the other hand, is looking for the best card, Blood Moon. Clayton does have a negate, but if he can sneak it under, that's the Blood Moon, I believe. There it is. It looks like Brandon is going to keep his hand banking on that one. Let's see what we can stir up here. If he has Noble Hierarch in his hand, that is a potential turn 2 Blood Moon. I don't think he does, but that's just something to look out for. Serum Visions gets scrying going. There's Bloodbraid Elf. Looks like he's going to bottom those. Bloodbraid Elf is where you want to be when you're in grinding, but he wants to find the cards he needs. He's got Grafdigger's Cage. Um, don't know how much it's going to play a role in this game, though. That's what I'm worried about. Another search. Yeah, see, this is where Noble Hierarch into Blood Moon would have been almost nuts. But looks like we're going to get there slowly but surely. He's found a land he needs. He's going to get there eventually. Now, the benefit of the searches is that they're going to find basics. So, between those, Clayton will be able to get Island and Forest, and even Blood Moon would not hurt him that much. Tormaglyph's got protection from Lightning Bolt here, because the sorcery and the land are in the graveyard. Another sorcery adds to the bin. Um, keeps the Tormaglyph at a 2-3 right now, but an instant does put it up to a 3-4. He's got the island, he's got to just find the forest, and he's got nearly perfect protection from Blood Moon. Of course, though, the benefit of Blood Moon is that it shuts off the way that this deck wins through Valakut and mountains. The deck will, of course, have mountains, but Valakut won't be able to do anything. It's just a mountain itself. So it looks like Brandon will be working toward that. That's a second negate from the looks of it. Yeah, so Clayton's got 2 negates, but he doesn't have a third land to play, so I wonder if he's going to play the Search for Escanta. Yeah, he's going to play the Search for Escanta, and Brandon is going to get to resolve a Blood Moon. He's flooding out a little bit, but I think he's okay with that, because this is where he wants to be. Now, the one thing is that He's not going to have Island himself. It's a toughie. He's not going to be able to have Island himself. Maybe playing those cards might affect his ability to do what he wants to do. He's thinking about it. It's a tough decision. See, I don't know what Grafdigger's Cage is going to do here. Or let's look at Grafdigger's Cage, see what it truly does. Alright, Grafdigger's Cage can't play. Oh, can't cast cards from graveyards or libraries. Alright, so then we can look at. Um, I believe, yeah, Bring to Light would be stopped um, by this card. Then, so that does make sense. That would be a true reason to want to play this. Oops. Pull up the correct card here. It's not showing up. Alright, looks like having a little bit of a technical issue trying to get the correct card showing up on the screen, but Bring to Light just says search your library for a creature, instant card, convert, cast, less, and cast for the mana that you spend. Exile that card, then shuffle your library. You may pay that card without paying its mana cost. So it doesn't. I do not believe stops it. I do not believe it is stopped by Grafdigger's Cage. Because the card gets exiled. It's no longer in the library. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can double check the ruling on that too. Looks like this can be a Huntsmaster of the Fells. Yep, doesn't look like it gets affected by that, which is a very good news here for Clayton. But again, Clayton has stumbled on land and has been forced to play just a creature, missing on land. He's got the Ascanta in hand, which might be able to help him, but otherwise, not much going on. So it looks like Clayton or Brandon is looking at attacking. Um, it's a 3/4. You'd be able to double block if there isn't a lightning bolt involved. Looks like Clayton respects that. Brandon is going to either play a couple creatures or he's going to double fetch so he can get Island Mountain. And he's going to play Blood Moon, I think. I think that's the best course of action, really. As you know, it's going to be very good against this board. It'll cut off green for Clayton, actually, which is a big deal. Only having a Lightning Bolt um, to Lightning Bolt and Is It Charm and the two negates. So, oh, it looks like the Ascanta's on the field. Excuse me. So that was played a little while ago. So that's gonna help Clayton out quite a bit. But for now, Blood Moon is going to do some work. Yep. So there's no green anymore. And a second Grafdigger's Cage. See, I don't know. It's a little redundant. So I wonder if he should have saved that for the Jace that's in his hand. So Clayton, ramp is not it. He needs the true forests in his deck. That's another mountain. So he might actually have to activate. He might have to actually use Is It Charm to do draw 2, discard 2. He'll pass. He'll flip. He'll deal 2 damage to a creature he controls, and then 2 damage to Brandon. 15 all. He'll draw for turn. Another Tormacoif. That's going to be very good. So he's going to play the Jace and the Tormoglyph, I think. That seems like the best course of action. Huntsmaster has a lot of value here, being able to flip and unflip and get to do so many things. Now, we can't play the Jace, so I don't know what that was. Tapped his mana a little incorrectly, but at the end of the day, he is able to do this. Yep, just still a 4/5. He's going to do 2 damage to the one that was damaged. And that puts a creature in the graveyard, and now he'll flip and make a 2/2. This is where the engine comes in with Huntsmaster of the Fells, just flipping, unflipping, flipping, unflipping. Clayton will get to flip it again and kill the Jace, too. Huntsmaster of the Fells might take this over, really. Remand Drawn has a potential to Time Walk, especially because he's got 2 islands already. Time Walk in the sense that maybe Brandon only plays 1 spell next turn and is cut off from doing anything else. I personally would not active. I would want to flip. This, it's, oof, that's, you didn't have to do that. You actually would just be able to flip with Huntsmaster, but maybe he wants to keep it to do something a little bit different. I guess no, in the upkeep he would have had a card to discard, so he would have been fine. Either way, that's still a good play. Getting rid of the Jace is important. Ancestral Vision, that's going to get remanded eventually, that's for sure. Alright, Huntsmaster of the Fells. Excuse me. Huntsmaster of the Fells increasing its value. Another mountain drawn. Once we find a answer to Huntsmaster of the Fells, it's only a matter of time, truly. Oh, he doesn't have a removal spell. He's not able to block. He can trade off Tormoglyph. I don't think he wants to do that. I think he's thinking about it, but I think that's exactly what Brandon would want. So we're not going to do that. Huntsmaster Fells is a crazy card, that's for sure. I drew that card just because if there's a potential to get Blood Moon off the field, it is a ramp spell. There's at least 1 land in hand, and ooh, a roast. But he's gonna have negate. Important check there, as Huntsmaster Fells has taken over the game in a big way. Found the forest. That is exactly what he needed. He's gonna find his 2nd forest. Or no, he's gonna find his 3rd island, I think. So that cryptic command is online. 2nd forest would also not be that bad. Yeah, 3rd island. Good laughs here, as many of us are friends and part of a community together, and so it's a awesome time to be able to share F&M together, and it's fun stuff. Right. He's cast a spell and he's passing the turn. Still got 2 counterspells in hand, so this Ancestral really isn't going to do anything. Sadly. Skanta, another check. Puts it in his hand. I think that's okay. He's going to cast target him, and then he's going to remand. Oh, sucks, but that is definitely how it goes sometimes. Second Forest, he's going to suspend it again, as you do. He's going to choose to put that in the graveyard. He's found Bring to Light. Now, here's the thing. Now, we're able to find Cryptic Command now with that. Because he's got full... No, he's not able to... We're not able to find Cryptic Command yet. Only 3 colors of mana. So it's close. Very close. Would have got a swamp, he would have been able to do it, but turning on Cryptic Command creates more outs for Clayton to the Blood Moon Lock. Bloodbraid Elf? Yeah, Bloodbraid Elf. Cascade trigger on the stack. Exiles makes a tireless tracker. Played the land. R.I.P. indeed. Not much he can do about that. Oh, but then the Huntsmaster flips, and now it's gonna ping, and it's gonna be able to ping the. Oof, that is gonna be bad beats here for Brandon. Tireless Tracker, of course. We can pull that up for us here at home. Tireless Tracker, card advantage engine of its own. Pretty powerful card here in Modern. Tireless Tracker. Whenever a land enters, investigate, creating a clue that sacrifices for 2 mana. And you draw a card. And the Tireless Tracker gets bigger when you do it. Yep, Tireless Tracker is gonna die. Ooh, that is really tough because Tireless Tracker could have really started to run away with this game in its own right. Draw, search for a Scanta trigger. Put the tribe. Draws another tribe. And tribe is good, actually. There's a swamp in his deck, so now he will be able to. I wonder why he binned his first one though. Because that's exactly what he needed. Either way, he found it eventually anyway. Want to do just another thank you for everyone viewing out there. If you are joining us to watch for our Friday Night Magic, it's awesome for us to be able to showcase our talent here and the store itself. All right, looks like that's over, but I'm gonna go double check something. I will be right back.
Scapeshift?
Yeah, he could have cryptic command.
Oh, you had cryptic command? Bring to light for cryptic. Oh, I thought you had it in your hand. Okay, I thought you just did it. I showed him 2 cards. Oh, okay. Okay. That sucks about that tireless tracker.
Yeah.
I was like, no, not like this. Yeah, that was a good game. That was a good game. Yep. All right, yeah, one more. Awesome job, you guys. Thank you. Yeah, I was gonna try to get you to scoop the Scapeshift. I would have done it 10 turns earlier.
All right, looks like Clayton had the Cryptic Command. Just wanted to double check that. Obviously, trust these guys, but yeah, wanted to congratulate them on a good game. It's been really awesome to have players be so open and wanting to do this, and I think it's cool to be able to be on a stream. You know, even something small, just as a startup, it's fun to showcase. And Brandon and Clayton definitely having an awesome time. And again, yeah, thank you for joining us here for our Friday Night Magic here at Heroes Welcome. All right, going into Game 3. Brandon finally going to be on the play. Looks like he's got a good start. He's got a Tormagoyf and potentially a 1-drop spell. No 1-drop spell, but that's okay. No 1-drop. Oh, he's got Opt. That's good. Serum Visions. Probably not what he needs. Probably wanted that turn 1. But he's going to have the Tormoglyph. As long as he has a fetch. Ooh, Spreading Seas is in the deck. That is a strong magic card. I want a Spreading Seas here, I think. I think that's what he wants to do too. No, he's going to. I think that's good. I think that's good to put the clock out. There is an instant, so Lightning Bolt can kill, because it'll only be a 2/3. It's a 1/2 right now. I don't think Clayton had one, but that would be pretty impactful. He does have one. So it looks like that's what he's going to do. I think that's a really important piece to this puzzle is stopping a Tormoglyph when you can. When you can kill it with a Lightning Bolt, I think that's pretty important. Lightning Bolt takes it away. Jace the Mind Sculptor of his own joins his hand. Looks like he's going to play coming to tap land. Looks like there's really light on ramp here. Untap. So might have. Oh, so he's got a counter spell potentially. Noble Hierarch in the hand now for Brandon. Did he draw a land though? It does not look like it. I think he's gonna. He's really got to find a land. So he's going to do Spreading Seas on the red green because it cuts off 2 colors. So that happens. You draw a card. Does find the land, and it's a fetch land too. Oh, he'll be able to get green-red here and play the Noble Hierarch. That's pretty good. Pretty gosh darn good. Looks like Brandon or Clayton does have another Lightning Bolt, so he'll be able to interact with this quite a bit more. But for the most part, this is a pretty back and forth game. Brandon has gotten some disruption on Clayton's lands, which is what these rug decks want to do between Blood Moon and Spreading Seas. Very interesting. You know, Spreading Seas used to not be as prominent as it, as you would want to think. But it cantrips and it affects your opponent's lands, and it's what you want to be really doing. A lot more land here for Clayton. This time he's going to have it come into play tapped, but it looks like he's looking at Jace to be able to start affecting this board. But it also looks like Brandon is going to be playing Jace here. If he didn't get his other card countered, I don't know if Jace is going to get countered. He's going to take that land back. All fun, good fun here. Attacking for 1, and now he's going to play Tireless Tracker. Okay. Alright, Remand. So Remand is what he had before. Oh, no. He didn't play a land yet, so you can play a land. He chose not to play his land. Quite understandable. Not going to play Jace either. In the fear of Bloodbraid Elf, even if he does try to bounce. Lightning Bolt. Might have another Tireless Tracker in its hand. That might be what we're looking at here. Yeah, it might be another Tireless Tracker. It might be another Tireless Tracker. Attacking for 1. Yep, another Tireless Tracker. Alright, then pass of the turn, yeah. Getting to interact with the creatures is important. When you don't have ramp, if you've got creature interaction, that's good. Clayton is flooding, but that's kind of what this deck wants to do. He's got Cryptic Command, can't activate, can't cast it. But can cast it, has 3 islands. So that's really strong too. In a way, the Spreading Seas has helped his opponent. Checking his land count. Noble Hierarch. And attack in for 2. Clock is getting faster. Still pretty slow though. I think he's gonna commit to this Jace potentially. I mean, maybe sit on the clue. Yeah, gonna sit on the clue. Bring to light. Brandon is at 18. So Clayton just needs 8 lands to be able to win the game with a Scapeshift. There's a Valakut on the field now. Sacrifice the clue, finds a Bloodbraid Elf. Gonna fetch out a little bit. So there's a Cryptic Command, Jace, and a Bring to Light and another land in Clayton's hand. Pretty sure there's at least 2 Lightning Bolts in Brandon's hand, so that's... He's gonna probably want to find a Steam Vents here. Island is, that's okay. That's alright. I think he wants that Steam Vents, because I think he wants to be able to do double Bolt if it comes down to it. Because now he can do, Bloodbraid Elf and Lightning Bolt. Cause, I mean, he's got to counter the Bloodbraid Elf. If it does come down to it. The Harks. Providing the extra mana. Can't die to Scapeshift yet. Oh no, he could 7. Sacrifices a land, so he gets 6. That would be enough. So he does have to be careful. Found a Blood Moon, but this is gonna get countered. Yep. Draws. Yep, Clayton's moving pretty fast. Looks like this should be the kill if I can count it correctly. And I don't quite understand it, but I believe, yeah, it'll get 6 mountains, and Valakut says every time a mountain comes into play, if you have 5 or more mountains, deal 3 damage to your opponent. I can bring that up for actually the Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle. Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle, when there's if you control at least 5 other mountains, it does 3 damage to a target creature or player. Clayton is going to get 6 mountains. They'll all check each other when they come into play. And so you got 5, you got 6, and you do 3 to you, 3 to you, 3 to you, 3 to you. Yep, and good games. And Clayton will be taking it 3 games. Another 3 match. All these matches have gone to 3 games, so that's been really awesome. Been some really good matches played between everybody. Got to see some sweet decks like Rug Cards I owned, and 4-color Bring to Light Scapeshift is a awesome deck in its own right too. And it winning here in 3 games. All right, thank you to Clayton and Brandon, of course. I'll go congratulate them after this, but yeah, it looks like the sideboard text were some negates, and yeah, Brandon bought in those Grafter's cages and stuff. So yeah, it was a good match. Good match. Yeah, well, thank you for joining us for round 3. We are going to be back for the last round, 4th round, as soon as possible. This has been awesome, and again, thank you to Heroes Welcome and being able to do this, and thanks for all the viewers out there. All right, see you for round number 4. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our final round here of Modern at Heroes. Welcome. Again, my name is Philip. I'll be commentating our final round here, the finals of the Friday Night Magic 4-round tournament. I got the names backwards, so I am just going to finish. I'm going to fix that 1 second. But on our right, we have David Anthony, and then we have Brandon Windsor again, both 3-0 right now. And we're going to get right into this game. We've got Bring to Light Scapeshift versus Green-White Vizier Elves, which is going to be a pretty interesting matchup. Clayton's got that main board Damnation with the removal spells and everything like that. But David Anthony's got a infinite combo of his own right, making infinite mana with Vizier of Remedies and Devoted Druid. So, we're going to see how this goes. I didn't quite catch who's going first. But yep, this is our last round. We did 4 rounds. We will be doing our pre-release for Dominaria tonight. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of Magic being played tonight. So that's going to be awesome. Clayton's looking at his hand, and it is a sketchy one. If he is on the draw, I would say this has to be keep. But if he's on the play, he's got a mulligan. All right, David Anthony might be getting a leg up on this one, particularly because of some bad beats on the mulligans, but that's how it comes out sometimes. You know, sometimes you just don't mulligan the whole tournament. But then, bam, it happens in the finals, which is a bummer, but hopefully some good Magic will still be played here in the finals of our Friday Night Magic at Heroes Welcome. All right, Clayton, let's see what we could get here. We got Search for Skanta, 2 lands. Wow, this is the best. This is the best hand he probably could have asked for. He's gonna take a lot of damage, but that's powerful. That's powerful stuff. Search for Skanta is a powerful enchantment. In fact, so he's gonna name Elves. Nothing's getting countered anymore in that category. Heritage Druid, one of the most important cards in the Elf deck, whether it be in Legacy or in Modern. Heritage Druid says tap 3 untapped elves you control to create 3 green mana. 3 green mana, of course, incredible for turn 2. Looks like he's didn't find any more elves though, so a little slow. Land was found, a little swamp. So this will mean he won't have to shock to play the Ascanta. And yeah, he'll pass. Looks like David is going to bank on these collected companies, powering through. Ooh, is that no land? Devoted Druid? Yeah, no land and Devoted Druid. That is a tough one right there. This is shaping out. This is gonna be no land versus low card count is an interesting. Generally, of course, mana screwed can win late as opposed to flood. So if Clayton can stabilize, really, we can be fine here. Um, Now, Clayton, I believe, has a red to green land in his hand, so he needs to find another blue source for Cryptic Command to be good. Yep, doesn't look like he's thinking about that one. Oh, and he finds a Valakut. Oh, so he's not going to be doing anything this turn. So what Devoted Druid says, we can pull that up for you here. Devoted Druid says, tap for green, like many elf creatures do. Mana is, of course, the best thing. Oh, Cavern Soul's naming Elves. That's a strong card. But Devoted Druid says, add green mana to your mana pool by tapping it, and then you can put a -1/-1 counter to untap it. Now, the combo, of course, is Vizier of Remedies, which enables pull up Vizier of Remedies here. All right, it enables you to create infinite mana by not needing to put -1/-1 counters onto your creatures. And so what he can do here is next turn he'll be able to create quite the arbitrarily large amount of mana. And he should be able to win the game then after that. Looks like he's looking for a land and bring to light. He's not going to be able to do that though. So right here he couldn't get a bring to light and have a damnation, but it doesn't look like he found one. He found counter mana, but against so much mana, it is going to be quite difficult to win the game. So let's see here. So he's got each Archdruid taps for 4 mana on their own. He has a Chord of Calling in his hand to find the Vizier of Remedies to create infinite mana, but what can he do with the infinite mana is the question. Looks like he's going to start with a Chord of Calling for 2. Present that he has a infinite mana combo. He's going to counter, and then he should bounce the Druid. I don't know what he... Oh, he's going to tap his team. Going to collect company first. Azuri and Archdruid. So, and Dwynen's Elite. So that puts more cards into play. Interesting. He could have tapped them for mana. But either way, this forces some action out of Clayton here. He has Cryptic to tap team yet again for next turn. Lightning Bolt to deal with Azuri. Yeah, so this is pretty interesting. He can actually regenerate a creature. Yep, he knows his deck, so he'll be able to untap and then tap and then regenerate it. Clayton knows that. Knows that now. So looking good here for David, but he needs to find a way to push through a cryptic command. I don't know. He could potentially know about it. He's gonna draw first. Found another land. He just needs to attack, but the cryptic command will halt that right up. Tap your team, draw a card. I think he's thinking if he needs to activate anything, but he doesn't. He can't. Looks like we're gonna back it up. Maybe he wants to see if he can do anything. I think he's gonna activate to regenerate his team just cuz. I don't know what this is. Oh, you know what? I know what he's doing. He's Yep. Yep, so Devoted Druid has untapped, so he'll be able to get some damage in. Devoted Druid does have 0 power at the start, but he has a lot of power in the first place. And of course, the Archdruids are pumping him as well. So it looks like he was able to activate it for at least 2 or 3 and really put the pressure on. All right, so it looks like Clayton is looking for a Scapeshift or a Bring to Light. Looking at his card. Draws the land. Flips. I think he might have a Scapeshift in his hand. I think he might. Yeah, I think he might have a Scapeshift. Yep, looks like he found it. Yep, it looks like Cryptic Command to tap the teams got it done here in the first game of our finals. Clayton taking a swift, or close, I should say, game here over Green-White Vizier Elves. One of the benefits of playing the Vizier combo in David's deck is that it kind of gives a little bit more just inevitability on your potential to just cheese games. you know, the elves themselves are very strong with the Archdruid and Azuri and stuff like that, but it's it's really really good. It's really good, and but Clayton's power to be able to tap um, his opponent down um, is where that can be powerful. In essence, though, potentially there was a chance for David to be able to do what he did with untapping the Devoted Druid to get some more damage in earlier, but guess we didn't get to that point to test that out. But either way, that was a good game. Both decks did what they wanted to be doing, and so we're gonna see if we can, well, get it going again for the next game. I don't know how good of a matchup this is for either player. Clayton does have quite a bit of really strong um, board wipes and removal spells, but David does go quite low to the ground. Azuri can save all his creatures. Um, might have Selfless Spirit, things like that. So yeah, we've got a good game here. Got a good match here. Two really great players here in our community here in Menomonie, Wisconsin, and yeah, it's a good showcase here for our finals of our Friday Night Magic tournament here. Yeah, but like we said, we're going to be doing pre-release. Dominaria will be coming out for pre-release tonight on the 21st. So that'll be fun. That'll be awesome. Another opportunity for much of the community here to get some new cards and play some more Magic, as we all love to do. And if you're not able to get out to a pre-release, I do hope you'll be able to experience the set in another way. But if you are able to go out, I hope you enjoy and have a safe and fun time at your potential local game store. All right, it looks like we are getting back in the game for game number 2. Clayton's hand is shaping up pretty nicely. He's missing land. He's got 2. He's got 3 in removal spells. Think he's gonna keep. David has at least 2 lands. He stumbled on land last game, so he wants to be doing that. He wants to not be doing that this game. I like getting the white mana right away. It's important. All right, Mana Dork. We'll have a test, bolt the bird or wait. I think he wants to bolt it though. Accelerating in any deck is very powerful. And I'm sure Clayton is fully aware of what David can muster up for his turn 2. Looks like he's going to wait, because if it is even an Archdruid, he'll be able to kill the Archdruid. Azuri, that'll die. Yep. Bring to light. Well, a little bit of a clunky draw, but he'll pass the turn. So David has the lands. He's got a Heritage Druid and a Dwinin's Elite that's able to create at least 3 mana while they come into play. Clayton has a removal spell for the Heritage Druid if it comes down to it. He's going to play a second Heritage Druid, I think. Yeah. I don't know what the best play would be here. I think playing a second Heritage Druid to protect. I just passed the turn. Okay. Missing on land. Oof. Now he's going to draw. Oh, now he can in response Collected Company if he would like to. And I think he really should. I don't understand there. Looks like that was an attack for 1. Might have been killing it in response, so there wasn't 3 creatures on the battlefield for him to do it, which totally makes sense. But now Cryptic Command mana is up, and that is scary. That is scary amounts of mana. It's a scary spell. 2-for-1s are strong, and making it to the late game where it is powerful enough to be cast is where Clayton wants to be. David, of course, has a lot of good spells in his hand. I think that's at least 2 Collected Companies. If Clayton does have another, if Clayton has another land, though, it looks like he's going to be able to bring to light for damnation, and that is exactly what he wants to be doing. If he can clear up the board, it's pretty smooth sailing. Elves decks or low to the ground decks, and even go wide decks, do have a hard time catching up. So it can be important. Oof, that is an untapped land. I think that is going to be a bring. Oh, he already had an untapped land. That's right, he had the forest. So he's going to bring delight for damnation here. Yep. That is going to be pretty game ending, I think, for David. He's on 2 mana right now. So it's going to be very hard for him to come back from this. Well, this is just a really good showcase of Clayton's deck and its flexibility. You can play these early removal spells with Bolt, and then you can have these late game sweepers like Damnation. Now David, he's probably just going to have to play that Elfin Pass. Oof, is not where you want to be. Missing on land does suck, especially here in the finals, but yep, cut his deck. A little bit of a wonky way, but got there. Our man was drawn. He's got lands. He just needs 2 more lands to win the game with Scapeshift and Valakut. Twin's Elite, or Devoted Druid. Yep, he might remand this. I think Remand is really good here. That's a time walk in this case. The Devoted Druid will go back to his hand. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, can't be countered, but he's going to cast it anyway. Secure Tribe Elder. Get a land, and that's the last land he'll need, so he'll be able to go off next turn. Oh, a shortcut, a little fetch. Get an island. Get it coming to tap. Oh, and then his last card is Scapeshift. To do 3 times 6, 18 damage to his opponent. 1. There's the Valakut. 1, 2. And then I get 4 more lands. And 3 times 6, of course, 18. And sadly, do not believe there's anything David will be able to do. And he extends the hand, and Clayton is our champion here for our Heroes Welcome Friday Night Magic. All right, those were some pretty quick games, but awesome showing by both of these players. Bit of a tough breaks here for David, but Clayton definitely got to showcase what he wanted to do. So really awesome stuff here in our finals. So very happy to bring this to you guys. Bring this our Friday Night Magic. It's really good stuff. Enjoyed being able to do this, and yeah. All right. Players will be finishing up here. It looks like brought in just things like Witchbane. Oh, Witchbane Orb would have been really good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, can't be targeted, and then Grafdigger's Cage really good against his opponent. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. So, okay then. All right. Well, from me here, Philip, at the commentating desk, Dominaria poster in the background. Here, brought to you by Heroes Welcome here in Menomonie. An awesome place here in our town to play Magic. Magic accessories, everything we really need. Great atmosphere, and thought it's awesome that we can bring it to you guys through the power of the internet and power of streaming. So thank you guys for being here. This was awesome. Thank you for joining us for our Friday Night Magic here April 20th. If you are going to Dominaria pre-release, enjoy. It's going to be awesome. New set rotation coming out or happening. But yeah, no, thank you for joining us, and it's been awesome here at Heroes Welcome. Thank you, and have a good night.